Okay, hi, good evening. This is CC Cycle 1, Week 20. We had some missing in class today, so I just want to give a quick run through of what we did in community. So you are almost there. We have 4 weeks left, guys. How quickly it's gone. But so let's see. For these last 6 weeks, we're studying composers from the Baroque and Classical period. And so I'll just start there. We listened to, who did we listen to today? We listened to Handel. And we listened to the music quietly one time through. We did the timestamps and just stopped the music at certain points and talked about what we were hearing. And the second time, and then the third time, we actually did it a little backwards. Instead of standing up when it was really loud, we stood up when we heard the music get really quiet. So that's what we did for that. For our science experiment, we followed the example from Mount Pleasant, and we took black construction paper. Let me see if I have it in here. And I don't have it in here, but we took black construction paper, and let me grab it because it's cool. All right. See if you can see this. So we took an earth, and then on the inside, this is core and mantle crust. And then, so we took that geosphere geography, talked about that in more detail. And then we talked about what we did in New Grammar today for atmosphere. And we talked about the troposphere. Oh boy, why am I drawing a blank? Troposphere, and then, yikers, I'm already forgetting. Thank you. Stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. And we just talked about what we can find in each of those layers, and just a lot more detail about them. And so as the kids were coloring their pores and constructing their center, we built upon each layer of our geosphere. Very cool. And then for New Grammar, we did, I'll start with the timeline. So for New Grammar, we did from Australia becomes a commonwealth, and so we did all signs. So we took our 8 fingers and we, as if we're kangaroos, we did that sign. So Australia becomes a commonwealth. And then for M, for Mexican Revolution, we did this. Mexican, and then Revolution, where your top hand goes around and touches your finger. So Mexican Revolution, and then RW, World War I, President Wilson. Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. We took our 5 fingers, and this is the sign for Russia, the dances they used to do. Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. And then U.S. evangelists. Billy Graham, like the pincher, Graham. Let me see. Oh, modern period of the arts. We did like an individual. This is the sign for individual. And then there were random artworks done by individuals. And so we took one hand facing out, one hand facing the other hand, and then this is confusion. So modern period of the arts, and then the Great Depression, and then the New Deal, Okay. So if you want to do it with me. So Australia becomes, wait a minute. Australia becomes a Commonwealth. Mexican Revolution, World War One, and President Wilson. Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. U.S. evangelists, Billy Graham. Modern period of the arts, the Great Depression, and the New Deal. Okay. For math, we talked about the circumference of a circle. So we had a whole tune. So I'll just review real quickly the whole song. So we did it to, and I didn't stress this a lot in the beginning, but we did it to, there was a geometry, this whole beginning part. So geometry, geometry, let's talk about geometry. The area of a rectangle equals length times width. The area of a square equals length of its side squared L squared. The area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height. The area of a circle equals pi times a radius squared. The circumference of a circle equals 2 times pi times a radius. Geometry, geometry. Let's learn about geometry. Okay. I think it's let's learn about geometry, not let's talk about geometry. Can't remember. Okay, for history we did, and that completes the tune. We're moving on next week. Tell me about the Mexican Revolution. We just sang the song. I erased words. We filled in the blanks. I had the kids go back through. That was all we did for that. For geography, we talked about the Dominion of Canada, and we're using Yankee Doodle to talk about Canadians, so Canadian regions. And so we talked about, we just put it to a tune of Yankee Doodle. So, Dominion of Canada, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia. That tune will continue next week in week 21 when we're talking about Canadian waters. For science, we talked about what are some parts of the atmosphere, which I told you worked in perfectly with our science experiment this week. And we did it to a Star Wars theme. So I pulled out my lightsaber and we did it to the Star Wars theme, and it went, what are some parts of the atmosphere? Some parts of the atmosphere: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Let's see. So I had each of the kids come up and use the lightsaber and do it. It was fun. For English, we talked about linking verbs. Another tune. Boy, they're troopers because they don't like to sing. So ants marching was the tune. The ants go marching. And so we did ants go marching. A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. Sing that twice through and you've got it. But let me see. I think that was it. Okay. And then for Latin, we just had third declension noun endings. We reviewed how we could remember which declension goes with which words, like what starts the row, the category. And we just blew through them really, really quick, and then we were done. We moved on. So that's it, guys. All right. Well, I hope you have a great week. And I encouraged the kids to just, maybe explore a little bit of that science, geosphere, atmosphere. And if they want to present it for class, then they can choose from my goodie bag. So I'm looking to unload that bag before the end of the year. And we forgot to talk about what we're going to present at the end of the year presentation. And so have your kiddo just start thinking about what they like and what they might want to present as a group. And we'll discuss that on Monday and come up with something to present as a group for the end of the year presentation. So, okay, that's it. Have a great week. Bye.